Hello, you're welcome. I am Miss Becca, a TLCN certified math educator with over 12 years of teaching experience. How are you doing today? Oh, that's good to know. So, I would love to know, have you heard the word probability before? You've heard it, but you don't know the meaning. Don't worry, that is why I am here. In this demo class, I will explain what probability is and how it applies in real life. So, probability is a measure of how likely an event is to happen. For example, I can say the probability of a woman giving birth to a boy or a girl child. We know that when a woman is pregnant, it is either she gives birth to a boy or a girl child. So if I say what is the probability of this pregnant woman giving birth to a girl child, that probability will be 1/2 because the total possibility is two. It's either she gives birth to a boy or she gives birth to a girl. So the probability of she giving birth to a boy will be 1/2, and the probability of she giving birth to a girl too will be 1/2. So these are the lesson objective. You will understand probability and how it applies in real life, and then you will be able to calculate simple probabilities using real life examples, and you will recognize how probability is used in decision making. And here are the major keywords that you'll be using in this class. We have probability. I have explained what it means. Then we have event, we have certain, even chance, and impossible. So I have explained what probability is, and this is the formula for probability. The probability of an event happening equals to the number of favourable outcomes over the total number of outcomes. Like I explained, when we the probability of a pregnant woman giving birth to a girl, the number of favourable outcomes is, okay, a girl, it can either be a girl, it can be a girl will appear once, except she's pregnant with more than one child, of course. Then the total number of outcomes is girl and boy, that's two. So that's why we have 1/2. And probability is always measured from 0 to 1. Most times, sometimes it is being written as fraction, other times it's been written as decimal. So 0 is always less or equal to the probability of an event happening, and then it is always less or equal to 1. Here are some examples of probability. 0, that means if the probability of an event happening is 0, that means that event can never happen. For example, if we roll a die, what is the probability that we will get a 7? It is not possible because normal dice have numbers 1 to 6, so it is impossible. So the probability of getting a 7 when you roll a die is impossible, so that will be 0. Another one is even chance. That means it is likely to happen, and also it is likely not to happen. Just like the pregnant woman, it is either she gives birth to a boy or she gives birth to a child. So there is an even chance of giving birth to a boy and giving birth to a girl. Another example is probability of rolling an even number on a die. When you roll a die, what is the probability of getting an even number? We have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on a regular die. So to get an even number, that means we can have 2, 4, and 6. That means we can have three. The probability of getting even number, since even numbers appear three times in a die, so that means the probability of getting an even number is 3 over the total number of a die, that's 6. So 3/6, but you will not leave your answer as 3/6, you must simplify it. So you now see the probability of getting an even number is 1/2 or 0.5. And the last one is certain. The probability that something is certain is 1. So it is either 0, in between 0 and 1, or it is 1. If it is not going to happen at all, that means it is impossible. The probability will be 0. If it is it will happen. That means the probability is 1. For example, it is certain that the sun will rise tomorrow. If it gets dark today, it is certain that the sun will rise tomorrow. Once the sun sets, then it is certain that the sun will rise. So that is the explanation of the terms. Now let's look at this practice question. A bag contains 5 red sweets, 3 blue sweets, and 2 green sweets. If you pick one sweet at random, what is the probability it is blue? You are solving this one. So explain to me, what is the probability that the sweet will be blue Don't forget the probability, this is the formula, don't forget the probability of an event happening, it is number of favorable outcomes over total number of outcomes. And remember how I explained the die. So now, what is the probability of picking a blue from a bag that contains 5 red sweets, 3 blue sweets, and 2 green sweets? This is an int for you. Think about the number of blue sweets and then the total number of sweets. So how do you solve this? What would be the probability? Okay, you are trying. Okay, look at it from this angle. How many blue sweets do we have in the bag? 3 blue sweets. So the probability of getting a blue sweet will be, let's use the board. First, let's write out the number of sweets we have. We have 5 red sweets. We have 5 red sweets, 3 blue sweets, and then how many, what is the other one? We have 2 green sweets. We have and 2 green sweets. Now we were asked to find the probability of getting a blue sweet. The first thing we calculate is, let's calculate the total sweet, that the total number of sweet that we have in the bag. That will be 5 plus 3 plus 2, and that will give 10. So the bag contains 10 sweets in total. So the probability of getting a blue sweet now will be, how many blue sweets do we have there? 3. That will be 3 over the total number of sweets. That will be 10. So the probability of getting a blue sweet is 3 over 10. While the probability of getting a green sweet, we were not asked that, but I just want to explain. So how many green sweets do we have? 2. And how many what is the total of sweets? 10. So the probability of getting a green sweet is 2 over 10. But you will not leave your answer like this. You must simplify it so that the probability of getting a green sweet will be 1 over 2, or you just say 0.5. Your probability must be less or equal to the probability of the event, 0 less or equal to the probability of the event, and then less or equal to 1. So that is how to get the probability. So what did we get here? We got, for blue sweet, we got 3 over 10. So that means B is the answer. So now, where is probability applicable? Probability is applicable in decision making. It is applicable in business and finance. Companies use probability for stock market predictions. So it is also applicable in sports strategy. Football coaches calculate win probabilities. It is applicable in traffic and safety, like self-driving cars. You use probability to avoid collisions. Now, what else do we see? Where else do we see probability in everyday life? Good. And we can also use probability to tell if we will be going out with an umbrella or not. For example, during summer, you can decide that, okay, because it is summer, it is always sunny, so I don't need to go out with the umbrella. But during the raining season, then you can use probability to calculate that, okay, it is the raining season, then there is a probability that it will rain today. Then when you are going out, you have to go out with an umbrella. So we use probability in everyday activities. So this is where we use probability in daily life. We use it in to determine if you have to carry umbrella while going out, like, and then we also use it to tell if you will be late for school. So if you stay in an environment where there is always traffic on the road, then you can use probability to calculate that, okay, if there will be traffic on the road, then there's a probability that I will get late to school. If you are going to school and you meet traffic on the road, then you know, there is a probability that I will get late to school. We also use probability. What's the chance of getting my favorite snack from a vending machine? So probability is depending on what is left inside the machine. So that will determine if you will be able to get your favorite snacks from the vending machine or not. Now, practice question 2. A school has 200 students. 80 students take French, 100 take Spanish, and 40 take both. What is the probability a randomly picked student studies only Spanish? How do you solve this one? Solve this and explain to me. 1 over 2? How did you get 1 over 2? Can you explain? Oh, I see. Okay, you tried, but the answer is not 1 over 2. What you did is 100 students take Spanish. You now said 100 over 200, that is the total. Well, that is not the correct answer because the question says the total students is 200. Yes. 80 students takes French, 100 take Spanish, and 40 take both. So 40 takes both means that out of the 100 students that take Spanish, 40 of them also take French. 40 100 students take Spanish in total. So when you go to the Spanish class, you will meet 100 students. When you go to the French class, you will meet 80 students. But out of those 80 students in French class, some of them, 40 of them takes Spanish. You will also find them when you go to Spanish class. And out of the 100 students that take Spanish, 40 of them will also be found in the French class. So for us to find the probability of students that take only Spanish, that means we will have to subtract the number of students that takes both French and Spanish from the total number of students that take Spanish. So if 40 out of 100 students takes both Spanish and French, that means 60 of them takes only Spanish. So this one is for 60 students takes only Spanish. So if 60 students takes only Spanish, then what will be the probability of only Spanish? The probability of only Spanish will now be 60 over the total 200. 0 will cancel 0, that will be 6 over 20. Then we simplify it. 2 will go in 6 3 times and 6 will go in 20 how many times? 10 times. So that will give 3 over 10. So the probability is 3 over 10. That's option B. But you did a great job. You did a good job. You tried. So that is how to calculate the probability of an event. Now, what are your key takeaway from this class? Okay, yes, probability is always between 0 and 1. Okay, when it is 0, what does it mean? It is impossible. When it is 1, what does it mean? It is certain. Good job. So here is the summary and key takeaways. Probability helps us understand how likely things are to happen. It is used in weather, health, shopping, and daily decisions. We can measure probability using numbers between 0 and 1. You said that. And then understanding probability helps us make better decisions. Like it helps us tell if we are to go out with an umbrella or not. Thank you for your participation. You were very active in this class. And do not forget to solve more questions because the more you practice, the better it gets. Thank you. And once again, I am Miss Becca, the virtual math tutor.